Yo, family, what is good, and welcome back once again to another Kaspa crypto live stream. Apologies for the weekend off, bit of a mare where me and my family had a little bit of a getaway to what ended up being a very remote place in the United Kingdom in Leeds. And as a result, I physically couldn't get online. Even if I tried to hotspot my laptop, still would not have been good enough. So unfortunately, there was no content for the last 3 or 4 days. I guess a much needed break, you could argue. And I am back now looking at a mass liquidation event once again. We know where we are at, and we hopefully understand why it is happening. If you don't, we'll get to that in this stream alongside so much Kaspa content that I've missed in the past 3 days, so try and condense it as much as I possibly can into the key parts, which come from stablecoin transactions taking place apparently now, which I will gloss over very quickly. Some KII content, Michael Saylor hinting at maybe diversifying away from Bitcoin and looking at adding green dots, which could signify Kaspa, and then equally tomorrow, which will be Kaspa and Sompolinsky in front of many other institutions and whatnot at the tokenized London event, which I will be attending tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. And I'll be going back to the after party at Wolfie's Bar later on as well. Whether there'll be a stream tomorrow or not, we'll wait and see. It depends on how long I'm there, because I will be socializing. I mean, who knows, maybe if I can, I'll bring my laptop with me and maybe I'll set up stream in Wolfie's Bar. That would be quite an interesting sight if that did take place. But that's tomorrow's headache. Today, let's get into the market chart and understand what's ultimately going on today. Why is crypto down? Why is Bitcoin down 6%, down to $85,000? Why is Ethereum down 8.5%, down to 2.7K? Why is Kaspa down 11%, now valued at 5.1 cents? Well, first thing I want to point out, Bitcoin back down to this bottom that it made on the 22nd of November, the bottom support level here around this 84, 85K zone here. Going back to the 22nd of November, Kaspa made an all-time low at 3.6, at least according to this market chart here. So what we are seeing right now, for me, ultimately is still good news for Kaspa, because Bitcoin has made a significant rally and then massive crash back down once again. And Kaspa has made that rally as well, but it has not come down nearly as significantly. Kaspa's bottom right now is a lot higher than where Bitcoin's bottom is right now. Now, in saying that, we could still see some tough times ahead. I've been stating that time and time again. And in regards to Kaspa, I did mention in the last stream that we had done that the current buy and sell walls for Kaspa, the current support and levels of resistance, seem to be between the 6 cents and 5.5 cents. This support band right here, which we can see, despite me being absent for the weekend, Kaspa did respect this boundary, this support band here. You know, while it did have evidently 3 or 4 days where it tried to push above it, the sellers managed to regain some control and prevented Kaspa from finishing above 6 cents at the end of the trading day. That's what I kept saying. I said, if Kaspa can finish above the trade, if Kaspa can finish above 6 cents at the end of the trading day, that's a good indication that Kaspa will make a push back up to 7 cents. But we saw many occasions where Kaspa tried to push above and was unable to. Now today, with there being a mass liquidation event, sellers are in control, and Kaspa was holding and respecting 5.5, but now has come significantly below that, now valued around 5.1 cents. So now we've got to look into this support band down here between 4.8 to 5.2 cents. We'll see where it goes from here. But for the most part, the Kaspa chart did align with my thesis, my prediction in regards to where Kaspa is going to perform and what we needed to see for Kaspa to continue pushing above. And of course, unfortunately, did not take place. Now, in regards to why Kaspa is crashing, why Bitcoin, why crypto is crashing, I can see some people stating it in the chat. Yes, it is the yen carry trade. It is Japan. Now, if you're a part of my VIP community, you will have heard me issue warnings in regard to this months and months and months back. I think the last significant warning that I gave to my executives was back on the 21st of October. So when you saw Bitcoin go through that, start to go through a liquidation event, we're looking at around here. This is when I started talking about the yen carry trade and how impactful it's going to be and how significant it's going to be and how any further developments from Japan's monetary system is going to end up impacting risk on quite significantly. And today has been a pure instance of that. So I'm going to get through this right now before we get into the other content. Dr. Martin Heisberg gave a bit of a summary about this all stuff here, basically just stating here, the crypto market experienced a sharp decline in the past 24 hours. The total market cap falling approximately 3.6% to $2.91 trillion. More than $600 million of positions were liquidated. So again, people who are trying to set up longs, I mean, I didn't set up any longs in this time. And I told everybody here time and time again, I have some dry powder set to the side because I am not so convinced that we're going to be going through this euphoric rally just yet. I think in the next immediate future, next short term, we do still have a strong possibility of some dark times. We have got the end of QT today, which is fantastic. QT finally ended, but we need to see rate cuts still, which are still quite strong, 85% or so, which is great to see. We need some more rate cuts. We need to see QE. We need to see more euphoric, more euphoria in the market. Right now, it's not there. Right now, everyone's still very, very worried, and it's been added now. This FUD's been added further on now due to what's happening in Japan. And people who set up longs, I think crypto Bitcoin markets will perform a lot better. Maybe latter half of this year, more so maybe Q1 2026, going into later 2026. But the immediate short term really is anybody's guess. As I mentioned, if you were part of my VIP, you would have heard me say this again. As you heard me talk about this in the last live stream, I had indicated that I do think we will see a dead cat bounce, where you see Bitcoin coming down here, you see a bit of recovery, but not a V-shaped rally, meaning you're not going to see Bitcoin do that. At least that's my personal belief. It's of course not financial advice, you do your own research, but I didn't suspect that we see Bitcoin, after this mass liquidation from October 10th, make a V-shaped recovery and go up higher again. I think we'll see a dead cat bounce to the point where we'll see either Bitcoin make a recovery and then hold at these levels down here, maybe going up a bit to 100K and then hold here, or we'll see it come back down and make a new low. Right now, it looks like the latter is on the horizon with what's happening in Japan. We'll have to see, apparently Jerome Powell thinks meant to be having a meeting of sort or have a speech today. We'll see what developments unfold from that as well. The point being is right now, for me, this is for me, again, not financial advice. I am taking what's happening in the market as opportunity to DCA at lower values because I still see the markets making a very nice and strong push in a few months' time. So taking this as an opportunity, not a time to be emotional, but to logically start DCAing and allocating accordingly. But of course, with the possibility of it still going down lower in the immediate short term, I'm still holding a lot of cash, a lot of stables, so I can DCA at these lower prices should I get the opportunity. Like Kaspa, again, down at 5.1 cents. For me, is very nice value. We've seen Kaspa at this price for, pretty much all of fourth quarter right now. And we saw it come down lower, make a nice recovery to the highest we've seen in fourth quarter, and now it's coming back down again. So we'll see where it goes from there, of course. Maybe tomorrow will be a nice day, because apparently some big news coming tomorrow. But again, we'll come back full circle to that. But yes, going back to this post here, Bitcoin declined 5 to 7%, reaching intraday lows nearing $85,000 before recovering slightly to trade around 85,300 to 86,700. ETH dropped to approximately 2.8, which now is currently lower. Major altcoins lost again significant capital, 6 to 10%, XRP losing $2, so on and so forth. The sell-off was driven primarily, not the only reason, but primarily by the unwinding of yen carried trades amid concerns over tighter Japanese monetary policies. The fact that the United States are now ending QT and starting to cut rates more so is good. It means the sentiment shifting more towards risk off, but that doesn't really work if Japan are hiking their policy making, ideally trying to make the value of the yen stronger. If you look right now, the dollar to the yen, you can see. Right now, Japan, the yen has been significantly dropping. Of course, this is dollar to yen, so the dollar's been running against the yen. But if you're looking at, to make it easier, Japanese yen to dollar, you can see here that it's been, despite the bonds, the Japanese bonds hiking significantly, the value of the yen has been significantly falling off more and more and more, which is why Japan's being caught between a rock and a hard place. So right now, they are trying to tighten their monetary policies in order to offset the fact that the yen is still losing its value significantly. That's the lowest we have seen this year, actually. It came down significantly, and now we're seeing this happen. So Japanese 10-year yields has jumped to the highest level since the global financial crisis in 2008. That in itself is a major headline. That in itself is not good to hear. Pressure on Japanese government bonds is surging. Open interest is at the front of Japanese 10-year government bond futures, just hit 188,000 contracts, the highest since September 2024. And of course, we've seen again, percentage-wise, highest since 2008. The number of outstanding future contracts that are still active has surged 65,000 since June. Since then, Japan's 10-year bond futures have declined minus 2.6% to 135, near the lowest since June 2008. So ultimately, the Japanese bond market is in significant trouble right now. And it's conflicting with this happening while the yen is still losing its value and hence now it's rallying. All of it is a conundrum. To not have a better choice of words for it, it's a conundrum. And this affects the yen carry trade. Those who don't know what that is, investors are basically taking out loans, whatnot, in the Japanese yen due to there being a lower interest rate, and therefore they can invest in the American market at a lower cost, or lower interest. But with the bonds surging to levels we've not seen in a long, long time, it means that if they've taken out a loan in Japanese yen at 1% interest, and now you're seeing it at 1.8, you're losing money. So it's unwinding yen carry trade, meaning that those who have done this strategy, which has been a strategy for decades, it is affecting them significantly. And this is all, again, coming due to tighter monetary policies in Japan, broader equity market weakness, month-ending rebalancing, and cascading liquidations. And then you've got the fact that spot Bitcoin ETFs continue to see outflows, with November marking the largest monthly net outflow since February 2025. So you're just seeing a lot of developments that are unfortunately impacting crypto more so than every other market. I mean, you look at stocks right now, they're still holding strong. Down 0.5%, but still nearing all-time highs. Of course, yes, it's Monday. The market's only just open, but it's not. Most markets are kind of holding strong. Again, gold's rallying, of course, because the woes of risk on is rallying against now. Everyone's starting to look towards the risk off sentiment. People want to be out of risky assets, out of your crypto, your stocks. Want to be holding these safe havens, being your gold. Yes. And then again, you've got the fact that, Bitcoin ETFs, other developments include El Salvador adding Bitcoin to its national treasury during the dip, so on and so forth here. Long and short of it is Japan are in trouble. And their problem is everyone's problem. They are one of the biggest economies in the world. This affects the yen carry trade. This significantly impacts risk on markets. And of course, the most volatile risk on market is cryptocurrencies. Hence why Bitcoin is down 6%, Ethereum down 8%, XRP 7%, Kaspa's made a bit of a recovery now, but still down about 10%. Tibet 5%, Ondu 10%, Sui 10%, 11%, Tau 10%. It's a bloodbath right now. So what does this mean for the immediate future? Well, time will tell, of course. I am still acting as I preach, don't be emotional, be logical. I still think that we could see some tough times ahead. I think the next couple of weeks will be very, very important, given that you got the next FOMC meeting in about 9 days time or so on Wednesday next week. And that could alleviate some stress from the market and maybe add the sentiment towards risk on again. If we get some rate cuts again, 85% chance of that happening right now. And also, with the end of QT today, hopefully that'll start transitioning into QE. And that we need that because the ISM, which is a forward-looking indicator, is dropping. ISM is basically, if it's below 50, it just basically means that the general economy, the US economy, is contracting. It's getting smaller. You want to see it above 50, expand. And this also coincides with the business cycle as well, which is ultimately why we have not seen Bitcoin or even stocks have that euphoric rally just yet. It's been holding strong, going up bit by bit. We haven't had that euphoric blow off top yet because the ISM hasn't made a big push above 50 just yet. That's the long and short of it. Of course, to my VIPs who are tuning in as well, I'm sure you are, I'll give a much more in-depth rundown about that later on today and probably tomorrow as well. Just again, analysing what's happening right now, stuff that we've already spoke about in the VIP, and how what we need to see going forward for the yen carry trade and stuff like that going forward as well. So again, if you want to find out more information, check out the VIP as well. We're getting more and more members every single day. Those who are tuning in, singing my praises, I can say. Thankfully, I don't like to toot my own horn too much, but they're finding it very educational and very impactful to them and helping them learn a lot more. Alongside, again, making gains, we've made quite a few trades right now. We've had, I think, 3 or 4 trades last week, some of them netting like 400%, ridiculous stuff. I'm hoping to see our trader post a PNL. If it doesn't, then, you know, it is what it is, but I have the screenshots of when he put it in regards to when the trades went up, so I can calculate that it's gone up 300%. So he's had some very, very big trades. So it's been a very good week for us all in all as well. So if you want to find out more, family, again, links down below to the VIP, check them out. And also, if you don't want to, check out the free community. Either way, we've got a free Discord server as well where you can chill, chat, and learn more about crypto, Kaspa, either way. But that now does conclude the general market updates and what's happening right now. And we can now get into the pleasantries, welcome everyone back to the chat once more, and then get into Kaspa, what we are expecting in the very near future. So first things first, welcome back, Ghosty brother, who's doing very, very well, and new to LB on the check-in. Hope you're doing very well, brother. Finally, I can catch up a live stream instead of video mode. Fantastic stuff, brother. Glad to have you here finally. It's been a minute. Now you can see my beautiful mug. Hope you're doing very, very well, brother. I'll take a seat and smash the like button. I appreciate it. Yes, if you enjoy the streams, then leave a like, share with friends, and subscribe for more, and turn on that post notification bell. So hopefully you're informed by YouTube when I do go live, which should be around this time every day. But yeah, I try. I try and give as much enough as possible. Like I said, talking about a bear market, elite, put him in corner. Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment as well. Welcome back, Kryptoni bro, you're doing very, very well. Finally, I'm scratching. Welcome, you're doing very, very well. Reaching for wallet and episode cracking. Yeah, honestly, I feel that another dip, another opportunity, right? Body market odds on if Jay will be mute at the start. This time around, no. This time I made sure to check I wasn't mute at the start. So I'll take the 3 wins. April Fools, y'all. Jay ain't coming. Yeah, I know, I was a little bit late. I said 1:45, and I was here about 48 minutes past, so I was 3 minutes late. I apologize for that, but I'm here now and making good time, I think. I also want to try and end bang on the hour, which is 9 p.m. for me, which is in 50 minutes from now, because that's when the Blockchain Banter Boys will be going live, and I want to catch up to their stream as well, as they're going to be also attending the conference demand. I want to hear what they've got to say, because I want to also catch up and try and interact with them. I want to see if I can speak to some Polinsky tomorrow as well, actually, because apparently he's got some big things to announce tomorrow, and we'll get to that in a minute. Welcome back, Greg, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. I'm here, don't worry. What's up, Nope SXQ? Hope you're doing very, very well. Is that Nadehart? The name's changed? I feel like I recognize the profile picture. What's up, man? Hope you're doing very, very well. I'm doing good myself. Thanks. Kaspa DC, everyone. Welcome back, Thorhammer. I mean, yes, again, not financial advice, so do your own research. We are currently at this the upper level of this support band here. As what we can see right now, we've made a bit of a recovery from here. Now we're at the upper band here. So if Kaspa ends the day, trading day, in this zone here, and Bitcoin is still showing negative price action and headwinds, then expect Kaspa to start trading within the zone here. If Kaspa ends trading day between these 2 zones, then this will be where it trades tomorrow, and hoping to see Kaspa regain 5.5 cents. But again, time will tell. Welcome back, Falco, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. And YouTube Double D, man. Good to have you back again, brother. TP, welcome back. Green dots, yes, we'll get to that Michael Saylor post in a very short moment. This is all my fault. Yeah, I know. Every time I go live, the markets crash. You know, I should just stop streaming at this point. Every time I start streaming, the market just seems to crash. I think I'm the problem at this point. Good evening, Brett, bro. Welcome back, my man. Lol, no, green dots are buybacks of stocks. Wishful thinkings. I mean, yeah, we'll talk about it in a moment. In all transparency, I have literally got back after a 10-hour drive from Leeds, and ridiculous traffic, because motorways in the UK are just non-existent. They're just terrible. So many accidents, because it was so such heavy rain as well. There were so many accidents, so it was pretty much stop-start the whole way down the M25. But I haven't had much of an opportunity to actually look into much of the posts. So, you know, regarding the general macroeconomics we've just gone through right now, that I know, because that's kind of something that I did keep up to date with very, very actively. Because again, I am going to be talking to that with my VIPs in a moment, to give us an understanding where the market's going to move, hopefully going forward. But with regards to the Kaspa content, I know some headlines. I know Michael said something. I know stablecoins are currently working. I know KRI and DRI Desert Energy says something as well, and I know tokenize tomorrow, but I haven't looked too much in depth. Only thing I know is the founder or co-founder of Igra Labs stated in a blockchain. I can't remember where the timestamp is, unfortunately, as well. I need to find it again, but I know that he said in a blockchain banter AMA a couple of weeks back that Somplins is going to announce something very, very big tomorrow that will actually arguably be bigger than VProgs, which is what I'm going to be there in person to hear it, so I can't wait to hear that. Welcome back, baby daddy bro. Big callers in that big Cods Wallop in the house. This pullback is on you. I couldn't be on time because you weren't there. There you go. My fault, man. Hold my hands up. Look, everyone, he has ETH and XRP above Kaspa. We knew it. These are just the top three, right? These are the top three. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. ETH is the second biggest altcoin. XRP was one that I held. I held it before Kaspa because I held this one during the lawsuit. And it's the third biggest asset. So typically these three are a good indication of when the market's going to move. It's typically just ETH and Bitcoin, but XRP has been up there as well. Now, again, as I mentioned, I don't hold XRP anymore. I sold all of that. Right now, I hold Kaspa and then some other alts because stuff that I've shared to my VIPs and stuff like Tau. But I don't hold XRP anymore. I sold all of that. And I'm just trying to stack more on Kaspa right now. But yes, Kaspa's up, it's just there, but I could put it up higher. Like it's just how my brain works. I've got it set into Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP, the top three. Then the ones that I'm looking at probably the most right now, Kaspa, Zebek, Ondu, Okta, Sui is up there because I used to talk about it. Tau's there because this is AI. These are the so-called bracket that is in XRP's bracket, like Quant, HBAR, Algorand. That's meme, that's gaming. But honestly, this stuff changes time and time again, so we'll see where that goes in the future. Welcome back, Octopus. So you're doing very, very well. I keep buying and getting poorer. Is this an addiction or a syndrome? Honestly, it's a golden question. It's tough to say at this point. I wanted to say it's conviction more than anything, because it's not like, well, at least in my perspective, it's not like gambling, right? It's not like you're going to the casino and putting it all on black every single time. Although if you are doing that, like I said, if it was like you're in the trenches, the Solana pump fund trenches doing this sort of stuff, then yes, that's a problem. That's a syndrome. That's an addiction. But you're trying to look into infrastructure. You're looking to Kaspa, one of the so-called future infrastructure projects. Of course, that's based on your own research, not just me saying that. So you adding more onto your Kaspa bags is something that I think is something that you have conviction into as opposed to an addiction. Trying to maximize the discounts while they're still available. But again, that's all based on the premise that Kaspa does do well in the future, and we hope it does, and I believe it will do, but of course time will tell. Japan carry trades affect the market. Yes, you're right, Brett. That's exactly what's happening right now. Effectively, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the Japanese bonds have increased to levels we haven't seen since the financial crisis. The whole Japanese economy is in a complete meltdown right now, which is kind of crazy actually, because my mates, I was unfortunate enough due to, again, stuff I got going on in my personal life, I was unable to go with my mates to Japan this year like I did last year, and they're actually in Japan right now. So they're currently in the thick of it, and they're probably they're none the wiser because they don't care about finance. They're the mates that I've spoken about, but they're not really taking any notice of it. And I'm like, okay. But they don't understand that what's happening right now, Japan is in a tight spot, and it's affecting the whole economy because they're one of the biggest economies right now. In saying that, the M2 money supply is still making all-time highs continuously, going up higher and higher and higher. We'll see where it goes when the next one will probably come out soon enough as well. We'll see where it goes from here, but it's still rallying, so evidently there's more money printing going on. But I think that Japan's printing more money, but they're trying to hike rates at the same time. It's difficult. Welcome back, the real PG. Yes, that's the whole reason. Yes, the whole reason right now is, well, it's not the whole reason. It's a large reason. Again, big institutions are selling off Bitcoin ETFs as well right now. It's also adding to the Bitcoin headwinds. But Japan yen carry trade is the biggest reason for that right now, which again is something that, especially, I've been highlighting this in this community for some time now, but especially my VIPs have been consciously aware of this fact for quite some time now, and understanding that the Bank of Japan actually has as much, if not more, impact than what Jerome Powell and the Fed do. Actually, not more, but as much impact, because Japan for the longest time has been a very, very cheap economy where people have decided to take out loans, interest, and invest with Japanese bonds. But hey, game is game, and yes, the game most definitely is rigged, you're right. The top is in bro for the bull run. Next year we start up. Did I post it? I did. Yeah, so I mentioned this in the last live stream I did, which is for the long time, since August even, so that's August, September, October, November, December, so almost half a year now. I told my VIPs and also this community publicly that institutional sentiment and confidential documents published by Signum, Bitwise, SwiftX, and others suggest that the traditional 4-year crypto cycle is fading, it's coming to an end, and that crypto actually follows the mine's gone blank, the business cycle, right? The business cycle. We saw this document published from BitGet Exchange, which was also coinciding with Forbes, which confirmed what I had been telling everyone in the community here and equally my VIPs for, again, almost half a year now. Forbes 2026 crypto trend forecast. Where will the market go after volatility decreases? We can see here, the 4-year cycle will become history. So right now we can see, according to the individual who publicized this, Bitcoin's 4-year cycle will officially end in 2026. Today's market is broader and more institutionalized, no longer an isolated ecosystem. Instead, a new market structure and sustained buying pressure will change Bitcoin's trajectory, resulting in continuous gradual growth. Looking ahead to 2026, we will see continued maturity and evolution. 2026 will be another strong year for the development of digital assets. So we are seeing a lot of headwinds right now, and we will probably see some more. There's a very, very good possibility that we see further downside in the immediate short term. And I've been very transparent about this. I think it's very, very possible. We are seeing Bitcoin right now almost forming a sort of double bottom, if you will. If you want to count that, this is an anomaly here, but again, rebounding off that support here. These zones, they aren't new to you. If you've been watching this channel for a while, they aren't new to you. I drew these zones out months ago. That this is where Bitcoin can come down to. And if it loses here, the next one will be probably around 79, 80k, and then it becomes at 74k. These are zones we've seen time and time again. I think we could see some more downside. It's very possible. I don't think we're going to see a massive, massive rally in the next couple of months. That's my personal belief, of course, not financial advice. But what we are seeing right now is that the traditional 4-year cycle has more or less confirmed come to an end. And with that, we are now seeing that crypto and Bitcoin, while still being very, very volatile, it more aligns with the monetary policies. Right now, the monetary policies, they're terrible. Yen carry trade. The Fed's still acting too hawkish. We haven't seen enough money printing or enough. We're only just ended QT. Typically the bull cycle, when you see the bull cycle for Bitcoin, you see that it normally coincides with the end of QT, quantitative tightening. That's only just end today. So there hasn't been enough, there's been little to no liquidity right now in the markets to allow crypto, Bitcoin, and them not to pump. So in response to your statement, Alexander, you may be right. Of course, with anything, I'm not a financial advisor. You've got to do your own research. But from my perspective, I think we see some headwinds. We see maybe some consolidation for the next few months or so, and the FUD go louder and louder and louder. But I don't necessarily believe, based on the research that I've done, what I've told my VIPs, and documentation like this, this is like the fourth one I show publicly. We show so much more in the VIP as well, suggesting that this one's not confidential. This one you could find, but some other ones that I've showcased are confidential, and they're saying that the cycle is maturing away from 4-year to business cycle. Right now, the business cycle just hasn't taken off. This is the ISM. This is the last bull cycle. April, March 2021, you saw ISM above 64. That's when Bitcoin made its all-time high, the first peak here. But you see, you track the ISM to Bitcoin, you see that it kind of matches, it aligns. Every time the ISM goes above 50, you see the economy grow more. The ISM has made 3 months. There's been 3 months the ISM's gone above 50. March 2024, when Bitcoin made that first run up off the ETS from BlackRock, and then had 6 months of consolidation. Then you saw it at the beginning of the year, in January and February, before you saw Trump Liberation Day. You saw it come down. Point being is, the ISM has been below 50 pretty much throughout this whole cycle. We've not had a chance to see it expand. But in the sense of, the Fed now finally ending QT, and you're seeing, Trump's midterms coming up, you're going to see a new Fed chair that will likely align more so with Trump, therefore printing money and lowering rates more significantly. You're going to see the ISM rally because there'll be more capital injected into the US economy. And that means you'll start seeing these risk-on markets, being crypto, go up more. So in my personal belief, reiterating once more, not financial advice, I don't necessarily believe we start. I think you're right in the sense that we have currently made a top, but I don't think we're top the bull run. I think this bull run has extended. I think you see this being a top. It might be the case for the next few months. And you see us come down maybe 40, 50%, give or take. We can, we'll talk about it as the days go on. We'll keep you all informed. And of course, my VIPs, you guys know I'll keep you even more informed. And then we'll start seeing some recoveries in 2026 and a top probably in 2026 is my current thesis. Again, you want to find out more, as I can see Crypto now posting them in the chat. If you want to find out more, understanding more about the macroeconomics and the kind of market structure, so it can help yourself become a better trader and become a more complete investor as well, alongside making gains through trades. Again, last week or the week before, we made over 1,000% in gains, and this week we equally made quite a good amount as well. I think over 500, 600% as well. If you want to maximizing this sort of stuff as well and get active documentation like this, check out the VIP links are down below in the description. You can get a 7-day free trial by clicking on the link, and you can also, because we had one member recently who just converted from it as well, if you sign up to BYDFI, the no KYC, no VPN regulated exchange that we're affiliated with, sign up through BYDFI in the free Discord server. So join the free Discord server and check out the Get VIP Access channel right here. So you sign up and follow the steps right here and let me know. I can give you a 1-month free trial to the VIP. So you get 1 month for free. And if you think it's worth your while, then you're more welcome to sign up. And we had someone who just converted from that today, actually, or yesterday. And, he was very, very pleased with it. So again, you can get access to the VIP information for a month for free and then decide whether it's worth you spending money on it as well. And he actually gets that. He's done that. And actually, he's already got the extra a week trial as well. So he's actually got 5 weeks for free, and now he's going to be signing on as well. So again, if you want to find out more, leverage the discounts we provide, and you can learn more as well. Check out the VIP link down below. Equally, then you can find all information in the free Discord server. Check me out on Twitter as well. All the links that you can see Crypto is posted right here. Free Discord server, the affiliate BYDFI, VIP, and equally Twitter. All links down below and in the chat right now. So go check those out. Now, I will get to more of the questions. I can see that I have missed quite a few, so don't worry. Mr. Miles, welcome back, brother. You're doing very, very well. Fair play. Yeah, your first isn't any more late than JStream. Shots fired. Fair play. Welcome back. Oolong, you're doing very, very well. Now, before we get into more of the questions, let's get into some of the content right now, because it has been about 20 minutes of asking questions right now. So we can see here that tomorrow, reminder, the big event tomorrow in London, so where I'm based. The Tokenized London event will be taking place where Son Polinsky will be speaking on Kaspa mining the internet. Now, there's going to be 2 Kaspa events. I actually, where's my phone? Let's see if I can show this. Well, I can show this. I mean, it might be mirrored on the camera, but it should work. So you can. This is not sure how good this actually is. You can see it, but it's Crowd. It's the website, the app you use for it, and you can go. I mean, this is again what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be genders. If you go to stage 2, blockchain technologies, on the Monday, so on the Tuesday, on tomorrow, you have 2 sessions there. Not sure how clear that is. Actually, I do it in big screen, of course, that'll make it a lot easier. Oh, there. Can you see it? Not really. Well, you can see it, yeah, kind of. But it's blurry. But those two are saying Kaspa session 1 and 2. Point being is there's 2 Kaspa sessions taking place tomorrow at 2 to 2:20 and 2:20 to 2:45, which Tom Polinsky will be talking at least one of those two. And there's a lot more taking place. You're going to have JP Morgan there, Bank of London there. You have so many big names who are going to be there as well, which is really, really interesting. So I'm looking forward to this, very much so. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to look forward to connecting to all of the Wolfies lot, Blockchain Banter lot, and everybody else there. I'm lucky, who knows, maybe I'll be able to get some interviews and stuff taken place on this channel in the future as well. It's time to actually start networking a bit. That'll be quite a good time for this channel and this community as well. But that's going to be taking place tomorrow as well. Looking forward to some updates and potential intel on VPOX, Dagnut, and other key innovations coming for Kaspa Layer 1 with the support of the KEF. Now, this is a friendly reminder here from Johnny. KEF picked Tokenized London as the event closing 2025, as it is not just the face of crypto. The event is jointly hosted with FinTech Connect, mostly with TradFi participants. And again, that's going to be JP Morgan, HSBC, and all the big institutions and the banks who somewhat originally anti-crypto and now are supportive of crypto, all the ones that actually control our lives, either center stage or from the shadows, they're the ones who are going to be at this event. That's going to also have elements of crypto and Web3 sprinkled into it, and they're going to be attending these events as well, hearing about it. Hashtags on Polinsky will be doing taking the stage from 2 to 2:20 to the first one, which is what I'm looking forward to the most, of course. Kaspa mining the internet. And then Johnny will be speaking on the topic of post-Brexit in the programmable assets era. Why do we need programmable assets after Tom Polinsky's speech? Post-Brexit has been a time to say anything in the UK, but you can see all the stuff here taking place. It's going to be interesting, no doubt. Very, very interesting. And he's even showcased some of the proof here. You've got, Citibank's going to be there. You've got Global Policy Limited, former Bank of England, again from Citi, who's going to be speaking at the event as well. You've got Standard Chartered. You've got UK House of Parliament, founder UK US Crypto Alliance is going to be there as well. And then you also have got Cranfield University. You've got also many big names who are talking in regards to blockchain, AI, fractional ownership, all these, again, elements of blockchain and crypto. So it's going to be a very, very big event. I'm looking forward to learning a lot more as well in that. And one thing that I did hear in this AMA from Levendi Pro and the Blockchain Banter Boys is the Igrala. I don't know why his name slipped me. Is it Pavel? Yes, Pavel, the co-founder of Igra Labs. He has stated in this AMA that Tom Polinsky is going to be speaking, and he's going to make an announcement tomorrow at this event. And apparently the announcement he's going to make is actually going to be more significant and bigger than VPOX, which is something that, we already are excited. And while maybe our understanding of VPOX is still surface level, we don't understand the in-depth significance of it. We understand it's a big deal. And it'll give true self-sovereignty to, while upholding centralization and security. It's a fantastic upgrade to make smart contract on Kaspa so much more effective. We know it's a big deal. What if you're going to announce being bigger than that? I can only imagine. In fact, I can't imagine. So I'm looking forward to hearing about it. I'll see what I can't get away with. I don't know if elements like me, I can see Mr. Mars asking if I can stream on my phone. I would love to. I would love to. Can you stream from your phone when you're watching Sompy Love tomorrow? And yes, you did on purpose. I know you did. Yeah, you're so funny. Ha ha ha. I'll see if I'm allowed, although who knows. I'll see if I can do, although full disclosure, my phone actually is crap. My phone is terrible. I just need a new phone at some point. I'll get that when I can be bothered, but we'll see. I'm contemplating a number of things to take place tomorrow. It's going to be a very quick day for sure. But either way, I heard that Pavel said that, so I can't remember the timestamp for it. I'll try and listen through it again and find that timestamp. So I can let you all, or you can just search it for yourself. And it's a 3-hour AMA, but you've got the time. Listen to yourself, but it's going to be very, very big. So looking forward to that. So tomorrow is going to be huge, very, very big. And that's also why, again, I'm not particularly worried about the current sentiment of crypto, because while the markets are correcting and significantly crashing right now, again, look at the banks and institutions who are talking about tokenized asset regulations, talking about elements involving stablecoins and crypto, all these big developments. They're talking about getting involved in blockchain. Crypto's crashing. It's a short-term problem. long term, we're still looking very, very bullish. So it's for me an opportunity again to DCA, scoop some cheap Kaspa, scoop some cheap crypto in preparation for what is going to be the greatest wealth transfer, $80 trillion worth of wealth going from baby boomers and silent generation into our generation, into those who are in this space, in tokenization, blockchain. We just got to know where we're going to be. Again, if you want to find out, learn more, level up your trading game, investing game, check out the VIP, link down below. Now, the second part here, which is where you've seen the speculation come through, which I have seen through the chat, again, people talking about actually being more so about stocks, not about Kaspa. But you see Michael Saylor here made the post here saying, what if we start adding green dots? Which of course, Kaspa community was like, oh my gosh, well, that's got to be talking about Kaspa, right? Starting to diversify away from Bitcoin, started looking at Kaspa as well. You know, it's a nice bit of foam, a bit of hopium copium, if you will. Crypto profile I asked here, based on Michael Saylor's attitude over the years and his focus on sound money, energy efficient proof of work, and scalable monetary networks, what do you think he's implying by adding green dots? And according to Grok here, he talks about Saylor's Bitcoin advocacy and emphasis on sound money via energy efficient proof of work. Adding green dots might imply incorporating a scalable, eco-friendly networks with like Kaspa, with an energy branding, with the green branding and blockchain tech alongside Bitcoin buys. So even the utilization of course, you know, very much targeted AI search. Again, that's the benefit and the downfall of AI. If you give it a very, very targeted question, is going to give you the answer you're probably looking for. If you give it a more broad question, it probably wouldn't have said Kaspa. Either way, though, the sentiment here from Grok and AI is confirming the Kaspa theory that he's looking at Kaspa. Therefore, probably not the case. And apparently, it's being confirmed that it's stocks. Or again, this is the first I'm actually looking through this properly, so I haven't been able to fact check any of this. But what I can say in my belief is Kaspa is the end game. You know, again, my maxi mentality coming out here, but I think the Bitcoin and the stocks, they're stepping stones into what something a lot bigger, which for me again is Kaspa. The fact that at that while you couldn't see it very well on my phone there, that event, I looked through all the agendas and whatnot. It's talking about many different things, you know, Web3 talking about, again, we've seen the titles for this tokenized event, all this are talking about. There are 2 panels that literally just say Kaspa. Kaspa is the only crypto project that has like a dedicated like section about it, which I think is quite a big deal. Of course, you have other projects. There's quite a lot of other crypto. Let me see if I can find it again. A lot of other crypto native sponsors of projects that are going to be there. The Bank of London's going to be there. HPE, Solana Foundation is going to be there as well. Ernst & Young's going to be there. Sonic Lab's going to be there. What other sponsors are there as well? There is GitLab, Gradient Labs, Kaspa. It's a gold sponsor thanks to the KEF. You've got Pyth Network, PYTH, Pyth Network. You have realworldasset.io, and the list goes on more and more and more. Again, you can find the list of sponsors on if you check out Tokenized as well. But the premise being is that on the agendas for the 2-day summit or the 2-day conference, I'm going to call it a conference, 2-day conference, there's only one project, which is Kaspa, that actually has a section named after it, which I think is quite a testament to Kaspa. And I mean, again, shout out to the KF for getting that done, I'm guessing. But either way, you can have some political speaking there, then the journey. So looking forward to it, very much so. And that might also be this again. You're having Kaspa speaking in front of so many huge names, Bank of London, Peter, like Ernst & Young, and so on and so forth. Kaspa already has some institutional connections to the likes of BlackRock, thanks to Marathon, and thanks to, you know, PwC and Shelf, and you know, all these other big boys, Lemon Bush, thanks to DRI and KRI. But you're going to hear Kaspa actively speaking in front of these people now. That's going to spark, either actively or behind closed doors, going to spark a lot of interest in the project, because Kaspa is not just an XRP or a Solana or a token. It is an actual form of sound money. It's a policy that is not policy. It's a protocol. As innovative as the HTTP was for web pages, Kaspa is the same for blockchain and money. It's internet speed, or as this title says, mining the internet. In other news, Kaspa apparently recently flipped Litecoin in node count. I think public nodes now are closer now to 1,000, and I am part of the blame that I'm not there yet because I've still not done it yet, but I will. I will do my best to try and get it set up before the end of the year. But the fact that Kaspa has been out for, a fraction of the time that Litecoin's been out for and has more public nodes is quite a big deal. Of course, that's not saying that Litecoin hasn't got more. Maybe it has more private nodes, but Kaspa also has private nodes as well, no doubt. But either way, Kaspa's growth is rapid. It's very, very quick, and I'm sure you're going to see it grow more and more as the project continues to gain more traction. While the price is down, the FOMO, the development, the belief in the project has only increased more and more, which it says a lot about it. Honestly, does. And I remember also seeing, I think it was from Ankit. Yeah, stablecoins finally on Kaspa here as well, which is pretty big. I remember Cryptony posting that in our physical server. So again, to keep up with all the news when I am unfortunately unavailable, physical server's right there. And you have my community there who are very, very active, who are constantly looking through stuff and just reposting stuff into the channels as well, talking about it. So you can actively learn more there as well. But yeah, apparently stablecoins are now actually running on Kaspa in some capacity, which is really big as well. And that does segue into which one was it? Into this one? Yeah, into this one here. So Elon Musk on Bitcoin. I think I've already showed this, but I'll show it again either way. We probably won't have money, just energy as the facto currency. Currencies, if you will, that are physics-based. So energy is the true currency. This is what Mario Norfolk, a very, very well-renowned influencer who's, having an interview here with Elon Musk basically just saying, as we know, energy is the true form of money. Dollars, pound sterling, euro, you print these out of thin air. They are paper, they're worthless. They're only worth what the government give them worth and value, and we accept it as to be. But the only thing that actually matters is the energy that was used to create it. That's why fiat will always die. After every 80, 100 years, and you see this fourth turning, it always falls off because there's no energy used to mine it. It's not sound money. Bitcoin has an element of sound money to it because you have to expend energy to mine it to create value. That's why it's worth $80,000. Kaspa is the same premise. Of course, it's got a much higher supply and much more aggressive emission schedule, which does allow it to accumulate a higher value quicker in theory, but also because it's got such a massive supply, it realistically speaking probably won't reach the value of Bitcoin. It's not in any time near future because you've got 21 mil Bitcoin compared to 28.7 billion Kaspa. It's quite a sizable difference. But the point being is the energy expended to buy Kaspa is what's going to give it its true value. Energy is a true value here. You can't legislate energy. And you can't just pass the law and suddenly have a lot of energy. You can't do that. It's very difficult to generate energy, especially to harness energy in a useful way to do useful work. So I think we probably won't have money and we'll just have energy, power generation as a de facto currency. Listen very closely here to Elon Musk.
Currencies, if you will, that are physics-based. So energy is the true currency. This is why I said Bitcoin is based on energy. You can't legislate energy. You can't just pass a law and suddenly have a lot of energy. It's very difficult to generate energy, or especially to harness energy in a useful way to do useful work. So I think that probably we won't have money. And probably we'll just have energy, power generation as the de facto currency.
Now, that for me is a big deal, especially because what that can mean therefore for Kaspa. And DRI responded to that post saying, true, in fact, clean energy, not dirty or net emitting, is the real true energy at KRI, Paul Van Sun, IEA, and IRENA. Someone asks here, are you talking about gigawatt? And he says, a credible stablecoin should be based on the most stable basis possible, clean energy, in particular, solar energy. And it goes into, there was a bit more about that here as well, I believe, or it was even retweeted by the KRI. But again, the understanding is that we are in a unique position with money as a whole, with the dollar using its value, the yen doing whatever the hell it's doing it. And right now, FUD is at all-time high. People are very, very uncertain. The one thing that people are very, very adamant on is blockchain taking over, crypto taking over. Those who are in the know, who do their research, understand that everything's going to be tokenized, everything's going to be on-chain, blockchain, but also that there's inherent risk whatever you go into. But all these assets in this space, your 99% of them, your Ethereum, your XRP, your Solana, even your Bex, everything there is, even ones that I hold, everything effectively, you're purely basing the value on what the centralized entities are saying it is. You're trusting them, which, as we've seen with the current monetary system we have right now, there's a big risk to that. Trusting someone blindly. At least with Kaspa, where the value comes not from us, comes from actually actively mining it, it has a lot more, well, a lot easier to trust is how I perceive it. That's why, again, my biggest conviction and my biggest bag is Kaspa. And it has been for a very long time now. I still dabble in other things, again, to attempt to make gains, to flip a profit and put it back in. Shut up, Mr. Miles. But yes, Kaspa, again, is for me, the premise of it being too late, I find ridiculous. I think it's actually still too early. The understanding of where crypto is going is only now starting to take more shape. And Kaspa, for me, again, is still a very early project, 4 years since inception. And it's still got the big developments coming through, and you're going to hear even more being announced very, very soon as well. KI announced here, it's interesting to research the EU approach to the tokenization and digitization of certain financial instruments. Someone going to study has signaled that the core infrastructure for certain financial markets should be public and neutral rather than owned by a private banking consortium or a tech giant. Individual here, JC replies saying, in the EU, public and neutral basically means run by a bureaucratic organization which doesn't solve the trilemma at all. It stays insecure, slow, and centralized. And KR Reporter here saying that Kaspa can still provide a neutral base layer. In the global market, this is a valuable aspect as many of these initiatives require some level of global interconnection. Still, it's worthwhile putting Kaspa into the mix of options. So to quickly point out there, or to go pro quo out there, it is the case where you could end up seeing many, many entities in the future build on Kaspa. They could be centralized. In fact, most of them will be centralized. If anything, it's an inevitability. You could see all financial markets in the future to be, all banks run on Kaspa. So it means that they're centralized. Therefore, if you're going through there, if you envision Kaspa as one massive ocean, and you end up having in the future the European Central Bank, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and then you got, Casplex and Equilabs, all these other entities that end up building a layer 2 on top of Kaspa. These are the islands. Kaspa will be the ocean that would ideally have everything on top of it. And then, even though in the idea of the EU, they want to have a public and neutral infrastructure, they'll still be centralized, but it'll be on Kaspa. So the premise of that still being that Kaspa can still provide a neutral base layer. So Kaspa in itself cannot become centralized. It's just the entities on top of it. You've got to be careful who it is you're trusting effectively, if that makes sense. I think I went a bit of a tangent then, but continuing on, of course, but there's absolutely no way the EU uses a DLT that they can't control. And Kasper Kai said here, but at the moment, they are setting themselves up for failure with a liquidity fragmentation trap. The pilot hobby project effectively recreates the fragmentation of the legacy system, merely replacing national CSDs with digital consortiums. This creates an operator paradox. DLT pilot regimes require a legally liable operator for the market infrastructure. In permission systems, the consortium is an operator. This provides regulatory comfort but reinforces centralization, or reintroduces centralization. The operator can censor transactions, freeze assets arbitrarily, or succumb to political pressure. The true settlement finality requires a system where no single entity can rewrite history. So, proof of work. The current EU strategy is basically building a faster fax machine, but not the internet. To achieve A true capital market union, we need a settlement layer that offers the speed of a centralized database with the neutrality of Bitcoin. This is the precise engineering void that Kaspa fills. So while, yes, EU are very, very centralized, as we've seen, even the UK are going down this path now as well, which does worry me. All these big institutions the government are doing right now is getting their centralized corrupt systems and putting it on a faster blockchain. But it doesn't fix any problem. Again, who knows if they want to fix the issues? I believe that eventually they're going to have to fix the problems, but they're trying to get their centralized corrupt systems, the banking systems, the banking cartels onto blockchain. But it means they're never going to be able to truly achieve the necessary precautions or parameters to achieve a sound money system that is going to actually check all the boxes needed, again, to that will be able to be utilized and safe for everybody. Again, this is stuff that we'll end up seeing in the future. And there's a final point here from KRI as well. UK Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, my bane in my existence, has just opened a stablecoin specific cohort within its regulatory sandbox. A formal initiative launched 26th of November 2025. This lets firms test stablecoin issuance and services under a supervised live environment. Is it just to test stablecoin issuance or actually build it all properly, both including working with live customers? So it means that KRI, whether this is them hinting they are doing it or they hopefully will get to doing it soon, it means that they could hopefully test out the gigawatt in the UK, which would be pretty big, testing it out and hopefully therefore eventually going live as well. It's not going to be, a significant pump therefore overnight. You got to understand, again, these are building blocks. We are still fundamentally early, but we are seeing the foundation continuously being laid. The biggest development we need to see is these regulations. More and more regulations coming out, more clarity provided to these banks, to these governments, the better it is in general for these markets going forward. And as long as the project that we're in, us being Kaspa holders, Kaspa continues to build and innovate, is going to be a part of this new financial revolution that is, for me, a matter of inevitability. It's just going to take time. But as we can see for the markets, for everything going down right now, we've got time. We've got more than enough time. I'm still stacking my bags. I'm trying to continuously push on more and more. Maybe get to that shark or whale status in the future as well. Going to go up a lot higher. Ask him if he's Satoshi. I mean, maybe I will. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll record a video of some Polinsky saying, "Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?" You know how Jose Mourinho says, "I'm Jose Mourinho." I'll do that with some Polinsky and make him say, "Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?" I wish he would do that. That'd be so funny. Although actually, in saying that, I don't think he will do that, of course, because why would he? But in saying that, some Polinsky's been a bit more comedic on Twitter recently. I've been seeing. He has some very, very, like this reply here. This is a post about how a 19-year-old woman gives birth to twins, but each have different fathers. That's quite crazy. And he made a joke here. Twin blobs, different parents, no orphans. Can solve this. I'm sorry, that's funny. That is so funny. Like, I think I've applied that just saying, I just said W, I'm not going to swear on the stream of course, but I just said, nah, like that's crazy. That's something he's actually like, he's showing his personality a bit more on Twitter right now, so I'm loving that. So maybe he will end up joking about like that as well. That'd be very, very funny. But yeah, he's got jokes, man. I love it. Sorry, dag joke. I respect it, honestly. But I thought that was very, very comedic. I have respect from Polinsky doing that. I know dag joke, dag joke, same, honestly. I think both fit the narrative in regards to what we're talking about. Mark Saylor hint, so the post was referring to this here when he said, what if we start adding green dots? Which, when Crypto Proselyte made a targeted Grok post talking about what this may imply, it said, it basically meant that it could be talking about Kaspa, but again, I've not read too much more into this, but apparently it's actually referring more so towards stock purchases as opposed to just Bitcoin. So they're going to diversify from just Bitcoin and start getting stocks now. But the theory or the speculation, if you will, was talking about it might be switching to Kaspa. Therefore, again, if you look at the post here, based on Mark Saylor's attitude over the years, I mean his focus around sound money, yada yada yada. What does it mean by green dots? Maybe like Kaspa. That's the speculation. He's talking about stock buybacks. I mean, again, I'm taking yours word at it. I haven't looked too much in depth into this. I literally got home, found my sources, went live. It's been a long weekend, a long day. Had a good time off, all things considered. I feel a bit guilty. Well, I say guilty, I can do anything about it. I don't like it when I don't do work, though. I always feel a bit guilty about it. I want to continue building myself and my community as well. But I haven't had time to really look into this. I have just had no internet. But either way, when you stream, markets crash. When you don't stream, markets crash even more. Oh, if that's the case, then I will continue to stream. Maybe I'll just stream 24/7 then, and it'll be a much slower decline as opposed to a more significant one. But yeah, no, Kaspa holding 5 cents is very big. And again, right now we can see, as we look closer, seems to be holding on the upper bound of the support level here. If it finishes today's trading day above the zone here, then if Bitcoin makes a recovery tomorrow, if the FUD from Japan dwindles tomorrow, which Bitcoin starts to make a bit of recovery as well, you could see Bitcoin come down at end tomorrow down here maybe. But if Bitcoin, for argument's sake, Bitcoin just recovers tomorrow, comes back up to here, Kaspa therefore tomorrow will likely, if it can hold the level here, will likely make a push back up to 5.5 again tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see though. I mean, who knows? Maybe the announcement made tomorrow at the event could spark some form of small FOMO candle, especially if what's announced is quite significant. We'll have to wait and see. I'll announce what I am allowed and can announce, and what I do and don't hear. But I'm sure there will be some stuff that maybe I won't be able to say. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, yeah, we can speculate about it. If it's stock buybacks, it's stock buybacks. Again, it was nice to talk about it, and see what's coming through. More proof that J values XRP over Kaspa. Okay, cool. Let's just not go into this narrative, please. Again, if that's the case, then sure, I'll take your word for it, PG. I just haven't had the chance to look into it myself. The Saylor tweet was about having 1.4 billion cash reserves for dividend payments for MicroStrategy for 2 years. Okay. Thank you very much, Bengo. Thank you very much, both of you, for letting me know that. Guess shameless clickbait for me, therefore. Oopsie daisy. Sure, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna... Maybe I should just take your mods away. You two have too much power, I swear. Trump had a perfectly normal MOI bullish. Amen to that. I put it all on green. I mean, if you consider Kaspa green, then fair play. I understand the play on words there, Kaspa being green, but also green being the highest risk, highest reward. I don't think Kaspa is... I mean, it is a significantly small project, so I guess you could argue it is green, but I don't think Kaspa... The green is like an extremely high risk, extremely high reward. I don't think Kaspa's risk reward... I think its reward is very high. I don't think the risk is too high. That, again, this is not financial advice. Of course, it's me personally. But, like, if I was to weigh up the risk to reward something like Saybek compared to Kaspa, I think Kaspa got a better risk to reward. Because the miners uphold the security and the decentralization of the project and keep the value up there for as well. Until that stops, Kaspa's still going to be about. Saybek, the centralized entities can just take it out at a moment's notice. And I've got to trust them, therefore, as opposed to trusting a massive number of people to keep up the mining of the project, which I think is going to continue happening. Especially if we see more of these bursts happening with Kaspa, which could happen again going forward. We'll have to wait and see. What we want to see again with Kaspa is for it to regain this trend line again, above 7 cents. But when that happens again, time will tell. Looking like it's going to be a V-shaped recovery. I'm not convinced, Rizzy. It may be. Again, I'm not a financial advisor by any means. But I'm more banking on dead cat bounce. I'm more banking on it doing something like this, and then either coming down here and staying down, or coming down a bit lower down here before making a recovery. I'm more banking on that. I don't think we'll see that. But again, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm not so convinced right now because we haven't seen QE confirmations yet. Japan, again, this is impacting the yen carry trade and therefore the risk on market significantly. And I don't think we're out of the woods of that just yet. There's a bubble right now, so it's tough times ahead. Did you cover the ISM manufacturing PMI data released today? Yes, right here. It does mean the Fed is more likely to pivot and change their mind on rate cuts. Yeah, it does mean that the Fed is more than likely going to start cutting rates again because it means that the economy right now is contracting as opposed to expanding. So that negative ISM is good for the Fed, but it's not good considering that right now there's growing concern of there being a recession. So you want to start seeing. I mean, to be fair, it's not. Well, it is quite a big jump. It's not too big of a jump, right? It's not too big of a jump. But they're expecting it to go up a little bit, and it came down by 0.5. But again, Mr. Mars, if you tune into the content in the VIP that you have access to, then you'd also see the content that we cover regarding ISM in there as well. As a post I made on it recently, actually, I think. Did I? I know the video that I made on Wednesday or Thursday. On Wednesday, the recording for the roundtable did cover that. So you can tune into that as well. You might as well. We can't be in a 4-year cycle if we have had a bear market all year. I mean, preach it, honestly. Why do I get ads about? I don't know, Gosu, why you're getting ads about that. I don't control the ads. I have zero control over the ads, so I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it's catered to your search history. Okay, confirm green dots are cash holdings. They're not buybacks, not sales, not anything, just cash holdings. Okay, good to know. Well, that's good to know at least. But anyways, you're holding more cash. That is, again, funny enough, something that, again, I've been talking about on these streams. And again, I spoke about to my VIPs. I mentioned that the moment that Bitcoin loses this, it was 98K, that I would start holding cash more so. I'd sell a lot of my assets, hold cash, only hold Kaspa and cash, and I hold some other of my assets I talked to my VIPs, but I would be holding that because right now with the economy being so unstable, cash is king. Cash has always been king in a bear market, and then you buy the dips and you make them more. So he's just adopting a similar strategy. Maybe he starts buying Kaspa. I want to speculate, of course, who knows. Liquidity cycle always been, we just didn't recognize it. Completely agree, and that's what the documentation I've showcased to you lot publicly and equally to my VIPs in more detail has also suggested as well. It's always been a liquidity cycle, but it just coincided with the Bitcoin cycle, so we just didn't realize it. Fair play. I mean, sure. I mean, we have to have a hopium here and there, I'm not opposed to it. Predictive programming. You can try PG. He's not going to believe you. While you are most definitely right in the scenario, the hopium's too strong. Saylor's buying Kaspa, mask tweet, Kaspa apple color tweet, and now talking about green dots, 1 + 1 = 3. There you go. Exactly. There you go. It is, yeah, fair enough. Saylor wallet 1, no. Stop fudding MSTR, bro. They're not saying that. Fast off, PG. They're partly joking. I say partly because it is hopium, but they are partly joking. But I mean, yeah, it's a funny little hopium ploy, I guess. Yeah, Mars talking about energy being the only real currency, that is huge. Yeah, that is actually huge, and that's again a definitive catalyst or sign to me again that Kaspa is in the right space. It's got the exact right infrastructure needed to take over, achieving Bitcoin level decentralization and security while actually being scalable. That's not been done before. This is, if Elon Musk recognizes the impact and significance of energy being the de facto currency, Kaspa is by no means late. If anything, we are so early. I'm just seeing the Mr. Mars, and you two need to. I have 1 weekend off, and you guys just find all new ways to bully me. I swear. Okay, Japan probably has the most innovative, hardworking people on earth going bankrupt. Fear is the problem. Yeah, fear is the problem. 100%. Fear is the problem. Welcome back, Geek. You did very, very well, brother. What's good, QE? QE not here yet, but hopefully starting soon. Can you stream from your phone when you're watching something? Yeah, I already answered that as well, didn't I? I don't think my phone's good enough for that. And also, because you took the mick out on me again, no. That would shake the whole space up. If you've got Bank of London and JP Morgan, all other big institutions in attendance there, and he announced he's Satoshi Nakamoto, like, that would be... I don't even know what that'd do. I think it would be big for... Because you're gonna, no matter what, even if he said that and he could prove it, people aren't gonna all believe him. And that's gonna cause that could have... I actually think it's better if he did... Let's just say, for argument's sake, he is. I think it's better he doesn't announce it. Because I think it would cause a too significant shake-up of Bitcoin. And that could, while Kaspa, being the next Bitcoin, if Bitcoin still proceeds as the ultimate crypto, which it still for the most part is right now, Bitcoin being deleveraged and losing its credibility because the creator went to Kaspa, would Kaspa be able to attain all that capital straight away? We can talk about it. I think. I mean, again, it's just a theory, right? It's just a funny little theory. But that would be crazy, all things considered, though. Kaspa $200 at the end of next week. That would be. I mean, God, I think I would cry on the spot of just pure joy. Pi Network. I mean, yeah, but either way. This is why QC loves his beans, because energy equals wealth, and we know how powerful gas can be as an energy source. Okay. As the QC said, blockchain will take over and not block DAG. I'm so bored of you two, honestly. I'm so bored of you two. You guys are so funny. Welcome back, Buffalo Theory, bro. You're doing very, very well, man. He meant dad joke. I still feel like he meant dad and dag, but let me double check. Yeah, I meant... Oh, yeah. Okay. Again, it's been a long day. I'm tired. Don't ask him if he's something like a motor. Try and trick him. Ask him, did you lose your keys to Satoshi Wallet? Sure, let me write that down. Let me write that down on my notebook right here. Welcome back, Wing Home, bro. It's been a minute. You're doing very, very well. Wing Moon yet? No, not yet. But yeah, next year. When Kaspa gets privacy tokens, it will explode. Nations and institutions will be able to do their shady dealings anonymously. I mean, yeah, once you get privacy features on Kaspa, that will also be significant. Privacy, stablecoins, centralization, all be huge. The Fed is going to cut rates for sure because of Japan. I mean, yeah, they need to do something. I think that's quite evident. And that's why the rate cut odds are still near that 85% margin right now. I don't tune into the VIP content because I never know when it's live. There's notification system for it. I'll see if I can try and do that. I mean, to be fair, actually, because whenever I do content, I at the CF executives, but you don't have to tag for that. So yeah, I will. I mean, there's a lot in there. I will see if I can do something that do that for you. I mean, either way, try and keep, just for, I guess, your benefit, try and keep up to date for it somewhat, because I mean, I think there's a lot more that I talk in there that is, I think, gives a lot more insight than all of the informative stuff I talk about on here as well. But I'll see if I can try and sort that out for you, get a bit more, actual notifications and stuff like that. Will Powell might announce it for the next today? I doubt it. There's no way. There's no way. Mr. J said Cash is king and not Kaspa is king. Oh, you both are doing my nutting. Cash is king in a bear market, because then you can buy cheap Kaspa and Kaspa's king. Is that better? Because that is the truth of the matter anyways. That's a crazy comment, Shannon. Shano, fair play. I'm not going to even show that on screen. Okay. How does Saylor hinder Kaspa? It's this post here, which he said was not added green dots. People speculated talking about Kaspa. Apparently talking about Cash now. Again, this is just what I saw. I didn't have no time to actually look into it. We've actually talked about it in this stream. So when I re-upload this later on, you can watch through the playback and you can find out everything we spoke about. And learn for yourself what it is that actually took place here. But when Crypto asked Grok what he was talking about, it suggested it may be Kaspa. So that's why we thought it might be Kaspa. Welcome back, Vizzy. Welcome up, Buckfoos. We are going to Moon. Ondu just had a deal to tokenize real estate. I mean, yeah, again, Ondu is right now the front runner regarding tokenization. Will it be the continuous and forever front runner? We'll have to wait and see. But Ondu actually is, again, one of the assets that I have been looking at. I think, again, do I trust it? No, but it's a front runner, so I think it's going to get a lot of adoption first and foremost. Couldn't you do an everyone command in the VPN channel? Only people with access should get the notification, right? That's actually a very good point. Let me look into that. If that is the case, then yeah, I'll just do that instead. Because then it means that everyone that actually is in the channel for that has access to it will get it. I mean, yeah, again, I've been doing this Discord stuff for almost 2 years now, and I'm still a noob at it, so bear with me at times. But yeah, if I do that, then yeah, I'll do that, and that means that everyone should get a notification for it. So that'd be good. But yeah, I mean, I know Kryptonian very much is passionate on that. While I don't think he hates the business model of stuff like Ondu and Zebek and those lot, but the fact that it's not on Kaspa is the issue. Once it's on Kaspa, it solves all the problems. So hopefully in due time. And that would be really bullish as well. If Saylor was Wallet 1, that is. That being said, family, a little bit of a shot today, 9:05 where I'm at. But either way, I did say a 1.25 hour live stream is just past that as well. So at least I kept you on that, despite being a little bit late today. That being said, family, hopefully you enjoyed today's content. It's been a few days, but very informative, hopefully nonetheless. Tomorrow will be big. I will keep you all informed about whether I'll be going live or not, because once I finish the token event, once I've attended that, I'm going back to Wolfie's, after party, if you will. So I'll let you know. But either way, look forward to the updates I provide in the Discord community either way, because I'll be definitely, again, tuned to the Discord server, because I'll be providing updates in there regarding what we saw at the event. So I'm sure there'll be stuff to talk about there as well. I'll definitely say hi to Lavendi and everybody else there as well. I might even record a short video just with all of them, just saying hi to my community there. But we'll see. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening, and good night. And I will see you all in the next one. Check out the socials, the VIP, the Discord server, Twitter, all of that. Links down below in the description. Take care. Have a good evening and a good night.